Hello everyone, Yoko here, and welcome back to our very first episode of the return of Convention Attention. I know it's been a while since we've actually done a podcast. The last one we did was on Price Your Luck, but don't worry, the episode of our Game Show Talkin' Fun podcast of The Price is Right and our tribute to the late Bob Barker, and that's coming up. Don't worry, we're gonna figure out how to do that. My co-host Dick Clark fan right now having to step away right now due to tech issues, but we're waiting for him to come back. But today, this past weekend was Anime Boston, so I'm joined with my very good dear friend and fellow streamer here on Twitch, Swag. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, hi.
So Swag, welcome. Like I said when I was briefing you and all this, normally we start off with a segment known as Smash or Trash, but got a lot to cover about Anime Boston from this past weekend, so we're just going to jump right into it. So my first question is this: how long have you been going to Anime Boston?
Let's see, my first year attending the convention was 2012.
I started attending conventions myself back in 2003. I was like right after I
got... clarify, my first year attending Anime Boston was 2012, but I've been attending conventions pretty regularly since 2011.
So yeah, I started with Otakon was my first, and I try to go every year. But
I went once to Otakon.
You ever see those pictures? If you ever see the pictures of Otakon back when it was in the Baltimore Convention Center, LineCon.
I went when it was at the Baltimore Convention Center. So I know it's LineCon.
Yeah, the one thing is when when they moved to DC, I felt sorry for the guy that was out there hawking the water.
Oh, I love that guy.
We actually, and you know me, I do panels at different conventions. We actually wrote a Card Shark survey question about that guy.
Nice.
Yep. So it's in the archives somewhere.
I'll have to look that up sometime.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't think we have it taped. I might have it in my box of questions somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. But so I'll let you take the lead here on this. I know there was a couple concerts you went to as well, so we'll get. I know you were talking about that.
Yeah, like if you think of something you want to ask me, go ahead and ask.
Yep.
But I guess I'll just start with Thursday, because.
Yep.
So the way the convention's set up is it's 3 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
But Thursday afternoon and evening, they open up registration for pre-registered members to pick up their badge.
Right. Now.
Before the con, so that they don't have to wait in line Friday morning.
Right. Now here's have they also started where like you can have them mail you the badge?
They did start doing that this year, and I'm very glad they did.
Right.
They did it on like a trial basis to kind of see how well it goes.
Right, because I know Otakon does that.
Otakon does that. Otakon needs to do that, and Anime Boston is frankly getting big enough that it needs to start doing
right.
that.
Which I like, because then I don't have, having to wait in DC heat in August.
Oh yeah.
Forget about it.
I mean, yeah, like thankfully registration is inside the Sheraton. If it had to be outside in Boston March, forget it.
Yeah, especially with the way the temperatures were this past weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst.
It was kind of cool this weekend. Not cold, but.
Oh no, it was nice. Yeah. I remember the worst thing that happened to me at a convention. I'm probably going to ask this to you. Well, I was at Katsucon, the year that all the crazy stuff happened. When do you remember the meme of Katsucon was good until the Fire Nation attacked?
yeah, didn't someone like pull the fire alarm or something?
Yes, and that was my year. I was cosplaying as.
That was so long ago.
I was
Jeez.
there. I was there, and
Oh
I
my
my
gosh.
only gripe with Katsukan was
Uh-huh.
that they gave me a they gave me like a panel time of like 1 a.m. in the morning on Saturday morning. Saturday,
What?
Sunday, Saturday, Sunday morning. They waitlisted me till like the day before the convention. So I already bought my VIP badge and everything. It was like,
Oh, that's awful.
yeah, but I got a convention coming up this at the end of the month here, Castle Point. So I will be doing my panel. I'll be doing Press Your Luck there.
That'll be fun.
Yep, got my start in 2015 doing the panels out
You've
there.
been doing it for almost 10 years.
Yeah, look, that's what it's got me. It's got me.
Gotten you pretty far, yeah.
Yeah, but I know there was a lot of. So, how big was the panel list this year at Anime Boston?
It was pretty sizable. Like, let me bring up.
Yep.
Let me look and see if the schedule's still up on Anime Boston's website.
Yep. I mean, if I type it, I'll probably activate my hotkeys and it'll.
Yeah, no, let me do it.
Yeah.
I don't have hotkeys or anything like that set up.
Yeah, I have it where it's just like start F1 and end. But
Schedules, here we go.
yeah,
Um,
I know. I know, like
so they have about 8 or 9 panels that are 8 or 9 rooms that are committed to just panels.
right. Yeah.
And then 3 or 4 other, then like 2 or 3 video rooms.
Yeah, you one for cosplay judging and
Well, no, these are for like your standard 1 hour or half hour, 1 hour
Yeah.
panels that are like topics. Like one I went to on Friday morning was Japanese commercials to make you laugh, cry, and think.
yeah, I've seen. They have some of the most. I like Japan's commercials, especially
They're
like
great.
especially the old Zelda ones. Remember those?
That might be a little before my time.
Look them up on
But they
YouTube.
did play one at that panel that was
Yeah.
when the PS4 got a price drop in Japan.
Right.
They made a whole commercial and wrote a whole song just to tell you about the price drop, and then it's happening the same day Persona 5 drops.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think my favorite commercial will always be the one for the Wii.
That one was good.
That's a classic. Yeah.
We
That
would
and
like
then
to, we would like to play.
yep. And let's see. Then of course you know about the cursed Kleenex commercial, right?
Maybe?
That yeah, there's some weird Japanese. They have some weird and strange commercials. The ones I saw, uh, since this is on topic about that, the ones I liked were it was for a coffee. It was a coffee company out there, and they had Tommy Lee Jones in the commercials.
I think I've seen those.
Yes.
For Boss Coffee, right?
Yes. I couldn't remember the name.
Boss Coffee, yeah. Once you said Tommy Lee Jones, I knew who
Yeah.
what you were talking about. Like, yeah, Boss Coffee.
Yeah.
There's a couple shops in Boston area where you can actually buy Boss Coffee.
Nice. If I ever get up there to come to Anime Boston, we'll have to hang out
Oh, for sure.
and everything. But
For sure. Like, I love having someone to hang out with during the con.
yeah. But so
Let's see.
I'm guessing there
I
was-
went to what's up?
I was gonna say I'm guessing there was a wide diversity of panels from stuff like that to the stuff that I do, like the game show panels and everything.
There's like anime unscripted. There's Anime Boston Family Feud. Like, there's game show panels.
Right.
There's topic panels. There's, culture panels like.
Oh, those are always fun.
101.
The culture panels are always fun. I like learning about Japanese culture and everything. Fun fact: when I started out and I went to Anime Next, I went to one of the panels where it was just about them talking about Sasuke.
Nice.
Yep. So
we had two of the voice actors from P3 Reload attending this weekend.
Nice. Do you know who they were? Do you remember?
They did a P3 panel.
You remember who they were?
Q&A.
The voices, the VAs, or no?
Yeah, it was Alejandro Saab, who is Akihiko's new voice actor, and Zeno Robinson, who's Junpei's new voice actor.
Right, because we all know who did Junpei's original voice.
Yeah, that's a whole can of worms that I'm not going to get into today.
I actually met the voice actor who did Madarame's voice.
Nice.
I actually met with him. He actually helped us out. He was at Castle Point, and I could tell you the voice actors I've worked with. I've met and gotten to work with Bryce Pappenbrook.
Nice.
Michelle Knotts, who has done voice work for who works for the Pokemon Company and everything. So she was like the voice of May and everything. The guy who currently does the voice of Eggman.
Oh, Mike Pollock.
Yep, I actually have a picture of him.
He's super chill.
Oh yeah, I actually have a picture of him on my our Facebook page, over on the Lost Silver Facebook page.
Him and Roger Craig Smith are really chill.
Yeah, and like I said, the guy who just did Madarame's voice from Persona 5. And Persona 5 at the time just dropped, too.
Right, so
when
it's fresh in everybody's mind.
Right. And I was doing Pyramid. I was doing the $25,000 Pyramid at Castle Point.
Nice.
Yep, when that happened. But, yeah, there's other voice actors I like to work with, and last year at Anime Next, they always have the voice actors where you can get autographs and everything. I actually met the voice actor who does the voice of Azazel from High School DxD. Yeah, didn't get any pictures. I didn't have the extra money to get the picture taken. And I've also met the voice actress who did the voice for Chibi Moon in Sailor Moon. So she had a booth at Anime Next.
Nice.
Yeah.
Greg Ayers is at Anime Boston every year.
Right.
And he doesn't charge for his autographs. He'll take a selfie with you in the dealer's room if you see him and ask. His only rule for autographs is no Funko Pops.
All right. That's understandable. I got to make sure my controller.
No other rules about his autographs beyond the normal con rules.
Right. No
Funko Pops.
Yep.
Which I think is hysterical.
Was it packed there this year, or?
It was pretty busy, and it felt like the line management was a little
wonky,
a little lacking this year.
Right, because I remember you were talking about that this morning on your stream.
I was so mad about that.
It sounds like
it's bad when I have to make a visual for it.
I think that's the first time you made a visual.
It's not the first time I've made a visual for something on stream.
Right.
But I don't do it very often.
Right.
Right about that.
Yeah.
That's
So
a bunch of artist business cards. I don't go to the artist alley to necessarily buy stuff. I go there to get business cards so I have more artists to commission.
Right. I gotta start doing that myself. You're helping me out with that.
Yep. Yeah. Whenever you're at a con, just go walk around artist alley. If you see someone and you like their art style, see if they have a business card.
Oh yeah, I definitely do that on the on the business side as well. In the dealer's room.
Yeah.
Because
dealers all do the same thing.
right now, and I will be honest, I had all the prizes that you see me give away. That's
Yeah.
out of pocket.
Yeah.
That's out of pocket.
Yeah. So like, if you can work out a partnership or something like that, that
I
would.
I had one with a few of them, but you know, the world went to hell and back.
Yeah.
So now, did they? I'm going to ask the typical question here in this. Uh, any? I'm guessing they, you know, the restrictions were lifted, no masks and everything,
No,
or
they weren't. Yeah, like the first year back, they had a mask requirement.
yeah. I know every convention did that.
2022, yeah, 2022 they had a mask requirement.
Yeah.
People got very creative with that, by the way. It was really cool to see.
Yeah. Especially if you're
Um,
cosplaying someone like Alistair, then you can use the mask to do the teeth, to have his sharp teeth and everything.
yeah, like it was so great to see people like work that into their cosplays.
Yes.
Um, 2023 they had a mask recommendation but not a requirement, and this year there was not even a recommendation.
Right, because I think
So
everything
it's
got
pretty much kind of back to business as usual.
right, and that's what I'm hoping for Castle Point. But
What else did it do Friday? Oh yeah, the Hololive karaoke party.
yeah, oh, I was going to ask you about that on stream. So, what was that like?
So, so what they do is, um, usually what they'll do is they'll do a karaoke party on Friday, which will have usually the JP and ID guests, along with one other member from EN, and they'll just sing like a handful of songs each.
Okay.
And they'll just call in via Zoom. That's how they have them there as a guest.
All right.
Since, you know.
Yeah. And we know all the other stuff that's been going on in that
Well,
industry.
and just on account of the guest being a VTuber who can't show their real face.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm a little of both. I don't like showing my face on stream, but for the panels, I have to.
Right.
You know.
Like I don't mind.
Right. It's our personas online, so you know.
I personally think the whole thing about VTubers they can never show their face is stupid.
No.
I think the idea of complete anonymity as a VTuber is stupid.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit hard for me because I know I was talking to you about trying to get into that industry.
Yeah, like.
I mean, with all the
Being indie, honestly.
yeah, especially with all the
Not even without the stuff with Niji, you're just probably better off being indie.
yeah. Oh, I forgot to post this over on my Blue Sky account. Let me do that now. But yeah, it's like one can of worms opens and the whole thing falls down like dominoes.
Every day something new drops. Something dropped during the convention, and I'm like, are you kidding me? It never stops.
It's good that we have people like Fallside reporting on it.
I know. I'm just like, can it just like stop, please?
If it's not that, it's the other one that's
never stop coming.
Right. It's like the one in South Korea now.
Yeah.
They're making that one VTuber pay back like $500,000 US.
Well, at least the company that doxed their talents got shut down.
I heard about that.
Yeah, they shut down.
And then there's like one company that has like only one VTuber.
Well, that's how Hololive started.
It's like every other one. I swear. And then like the document that just. I'm sorry for getting off topic, so please forgive me.
It's good. It happens. I kind of started it.
Yeah. And then it's like the document that dropped the other day about one of the other Niji VTubers.
Yeah, that's the one that dropped over the weekend.
Yeah.
I was just like, how does this keep getting worse? Like, this is beyond parody at this moment.
Rode Out could write a song about it.
Like, how did you see a company that literally docks their talents and say, "Hold my beer"?
Hi, Norm. Right. Boston,
Quite
cheers.
literally,
So
yeah, I had loved Cheers, but yeah, Niji was just like, Niji saw that company and was like, I could be worse than that.
hold my swag. Hold my Mountain Dew. uh,
I had a good.
Yeah.
It was. I just saw that. I'm like.
I watched that whole
kidding me?
I watched that whole video that Falseye did on that, and it was like,
Oh my god, yeah.
how is he not terminated?
Management's probably protecting him.
No offense to anyone else that works in that company, we are better, or more professional than probably the rest of the EN livers over there.
I mean, it's mostly not the livers themselves.
It's management.
Because, like, Finana has done nothing wrong.
Right.
For example.
It's their managers.
Yeah, it's management.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
It's the management or lack thereof.
Yeah. Feel sorry for the people that are still there. You have my sympathy. I mean, it's like they
and I know they can't leave because Doki offered to leave. Doki
Right.
offered to graduate peacefully, and Nietzsche was like, no.
So if I was in that position, look at it. Look at all the people that know me.
Right, like you have people backing you up, but think about how many people don't. Think about how many people don't have the
Right.
resources that you or Doki have.
Right. I mean, I got you. I get Shout out to some of our other fellow streamers.
I'm no one special, but
Right.
I appreciate that you trusted me.
Right. I got you. I got Feely. We have Feely. We have Annie.
Mm-hmm.
All of our other good friends. Tudor, Val. Everyone in all of our communities, and from both of our communities. Going back to the
Saturday was the day where was the day that I was making the visual about, though.
Right.
Not Friday.
That was the
just the regular panel that was in the ballroom right by registration.
How did they not have tickets for that?
They weren't ticketing anything. They weren't ticketing any of the big events.
I know Otakon does that. I know when I went to go see
Anime Boston did that for years. I don't know why they weren't doing it this year.
new management, maybe?
No, I believe it's still the same contract it's been for the last few years.
Or I meant like not like the higher ups people.
Oh, like Anime New England?
Yeah, not the overall company. The people that run, at the con level, the ones that are there. The ones that are in like con ops and everything.
That's just such a, especially knowing it's something like HoloLive that's gonna have
Right.
people showing up mad early.
Now, was this the first time that they had HoloLive there?
No, this is the third year they've had HoloLive there.
Right. Because I know just the week prior, HoloFest just happened.
Yeah, Fest was like
The week before?
about 2 weeks beforehand.
Right. Now, if given the opportunity, would you attend that?
If I could afford it and take enough time off for it, I would go to Fest.
Now, for those of the viewers of the podcast, can you explain what HoloFest is?
So HoloFest is kind of HoloLive Productions equivalent of like Anime X.
Okay.
Or PAX.
Or Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, yeah. It's the big grandiose event. I would say the closest equivalent would be Anime Expo.
Right.
In terms of scale.
Right, and if we're talking about Japan, that would be, I guess, their biggest one would be
Probably Comic-Cat.
Yeah, the big one there, which
equivalent to like Comiket, yeah,
yeah,
probably on that kind of scale, because like all the talents are there.
right, and all the indie manga cars are all there.
Right.
You know, and shout out to one of the greatest, the guy that created Dragon Ball Z and
Rest in
everything.
peace.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Toriyama Sensei.
Yeah, that
There was actually a panel this year remembering Akira Toriyama.
nice. I'm
It
glad.
was actually in the same panel room that Hololive was going to be in 3 hours later.
I'm glad that they did that. I know when I was at Otakon, uh, when when that one guy from Nintendo passed away and everything,
Yeah.
they had a lot of us all got together. They said bring your DS, 3DS. We're gonna take a group picture of us
Yeah.
holding our thing, and I've always been
Passed away.
yeah, I've always been a big Nintendo person.
I have too.
I still I yeah.
My first system was an N64. The first one I played was the Super Nintendo. Like,
Would you believe I still have my Super Nintendo?
oh, I still have my N64. I've never had to send it in to be serviced.
I had to send mine in to be serviced only because it got damaged in a bad thunderstorm that we had when I lived in before I moved.
Oh wow.
Yep. So we actually had to get a new one, which was
Wow.
provided by the and yeah, it's just an ugly shade of yellow. But
Yeah, mine's the transparent Arctic ice
nice.
that you
For
can like see inside it.
first game that you ever played on that?
Super Mario on the N64.
Yes.
Oh jeez, what was it? It wasn't Mario 64, believe it or not.
All right.
Oh, that was so long ago.
All right, we'll come back. You can, if you remember.
Mario Party. I want to say it was Mario Party 2.
I have Mario Party Superstars on the Switch.
Superstars as well.
Yeah. Funny thing was, work one year, a while back, they had a raffle, and the big grand prize was a Switch. If I would have won that, I would have said, "I'll take it." I'd say, "Swag, give me your address. I'm mailing you something."
Oh, you don't have to. I'm waiting for the Switch 2 to come out anyway.
But it's
At this point, it's not worth it for me to get a Switch when the Switch 2 is potentially coming out this year.
now is that going to be backwards compatible
I would hope so.
with the Switch?
I would assume so.
Because normally when Nintendo adds something, they always take away something.
That's not entirely true.
Right.
The Wii was backwards compatible with Wii. The Wii was backwards compatible for a while with GameCube games. The Wii U was backwards compatible with Wii games.
Right. Like they always drop the last
If they're
two.
maintaining the Switch branding, I don't see any reason why it
No.
wouldn't be.
Hopefully transferring data on the Switch 2 will be easier.
Probably. Not
Yeah.
that difficult.
No, I know. But
Not that difficult from one Switch to another Switch, so I imagine it would be pretty similar from a Switch to a Switch 2.
right,
Especially if it's using the same core hardware.
right. I haven't watched anything on that on the Switch 2
One of the
yet.
big rumors is that there is a P3 reload port coming to it, but
Oh
Atlas
wow.
hasn't said anything in that regard.
Right. And here's
Said
the
it's not coming to the Switch for now.
And here's the thing with Atlas, it's like, especially when 5 Royal came back out for the PC, is like, why are they still upholding the...
That made no sense. I was so happy when there were no streaming restrictions for...
You know people are going to stream past the in-game date anyhow.
I know, but... And it's like, it's a 3-year-old... It's a port of a 3-year-old enhanced re-release of a 7-year-old game.
Right. And I own both copies of the game.
So, even if you're playing through it for the first time, people know the plot.
Yeah.
The plot is we live in a society.
Yes. And I like how they actually used Shibuya as the background for it.
I love it.
Yeah.
If I do go to Japan for Fest, I'm also making the Yakuza pilgrimage to Kabukicho.
Right.
Go to the Red Sign.
It's and then like everything that's going on right now with like the streamers and how they're being disrespectful to the culture over there.
Yeah. Like, it's one thing to go to make a pilgrimage, but don't be an ass.
Right. Not me. I mean, come on. I don't want to upset some
Some local god.
Yes. And feel their wrath.
Actually, speaking of that, I went to a panel on Sunday.
Oh.
It was called Toho Project. It was a Toho Project panel.
Okay.
Toho Project, the truth behind the yokai and gods. So it's kind of connecting what real mythologies that like some of the characters in Toho Project are tied to. Like
nice.
The yokai and which minor gods they're tied to.
So I know Gaijin Goomba's done videos about that, explaining about yokai and everything.
That's great. I loved it. Like,
yeah.
Like Suika Moria is like directly inspired by the battle between Suanukami and Takumi Nakata.
Right. I think Okami was based on mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amaterasu, yeah. The sun goddess.
And then I know in one video that that he did, he was talking about the fox girl from Fate.
Tomomo, yeah.
Yeah. Then
I wonder how many people went to go roll for her on FGO when the Shiseki broke.
Do you still play Fate or no?
No, I lost my data.
It got eaten up by the whammies.
Yeah. It is lost to the void, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But it was fun watching you play that. I enjoyed those streams.
I'm glad. I'm glad at least a few people liked it, because I know that's kind of out of what I normally do.
Right. I used to play Fate as well.
Yeah.
I gave up on it.
I don't blame you. You're better off.
Yeah. Look at me. I give my money to Mahjong Soul.
Yeah.
Because I remember last year. I remember last year you
lost
picked
that data.
Yeah.
I pretty much swore off gacha games until I found the Kimono Friends one, and then I went free to play on that one, and then I quit when I got Tsuchinoko and Crystal Abyss.
Right. Now I remember.
Okay, I got the friends I came here for. I'm uninstalling.
Yeah, I remember last year you they had some people from Mahjong Soul there at Anime Boston, because I remember you gave me some codes.
Yeah.
They weren't there.
Yeah, the Mahjong folks were there again.
Same people. I know you probably didn't play.
People. It's usually the same people.
Right.
But I didn't get a chance to play this year, even though that would have made a fantastic picture.
Yeah. Like I said, best to stay away from them.
Understandable.
Yeah. Knowing the stuff I know.
No, that's understandable.
Yep. But
let's see. After Hololive, I had like 2 hours to kill on Saturday, so I just kind of wandered around with my group.
Right.
And then I got in line for the Lotus Juice concert.
Right. So I wanted to ask you, in the area where the convention is, because I'm not looking at the map or anything of it.
Sure.
How is the food? How is like your ability to venture out and grab food to eat and everything?
So the Heinz Convention Center itself is attached, as is the Sheraton. It is connected through an indoor doorway each to the Prudential Center, which is like a little shopping mall.
Okay.
So there's like a Dunkin' Donuts right outside the con. There's a Shake Shack right outside the con. There's like 3 places right outside the convention center, and there's and it's right in Back Bay, which is kind of downtown. So there's a handful of restaurants within walking distance.
Because Otakon used to be like that too. Yeah, like a whole bunch
Yeah,
of
because there's all kinds of stuff right there by the BCC.
yeah, and they tore down the Riverwalk Mall.
Aw, damn it.
Yeah, they tore that down, and I believe the Hard Rock went out of business down there too.
Damn.
And same
I
with the
still
Barnes and
remember
Noble.
I still remember skipping the last day of Otakon to go to an Orioles game.
Just because they were playing the Cardinals.
Just because they were playing the Cardinals and it was a day game.
Yeah. I remember when I got back into cosplaying, I was cosplaying as Vocaloid Len,
Len, okay.
and family came down. My parents came down, and we went out for dinner over at P.F. Chang's. I'm walking to P.F. Chang's in cosplay, and I'm getting stopped like every 5 minutes, every block to get pictures taken.
Yep.
My dad's texting me. He's like, "Where are you?"
Yeah, my mom only had one request of me while I was at the convention, and that's that I text her once a day to check in. That's it. That's the only request she made of me during the weekend, and other than that, it was just have a good time.
Right. So did you cosplay at all this time or no?
I did. I was Shin Akiyama from Yakuza all 3 days.
You're probably gonna kill me on this one, but my first cosplay was Inuyasha.
Nothing wrong with that.
So for the claws, we actually got the Lee press-on nails, and we super glued them
Okay.
on. No.
Look, how you want to do stuff is your business.
Yeah. No, I get like people saying, "You did what?" You know, like that.
See, for me, it's like, all right, you suffer the consequences
Yeah.
of your actions.
And then I came home. Remember that scene from Home Alone where Kevin scaled the pizza guy with the movie?
Yes.
I'm at home. This is in 2003. I'm at home waiting for my parents to come home because they didn't want me to take the house keys with me down to Baltimore because they were afraid I was going to lose them down there.
Right.
And I'm sitting in the garage waiting for Papa John's to deliver my pizza. The guy takes one look at me, and I'm still in costume. Takes one look at me, puts the pizza on the hood of my mom's car, and just hightails it out. I walk to the front of the garage, and I say, "Wait, where are you going? I was going to pay for the pizza." Fun times. Fun times were had by all. But I guess how was the dealer's room? Was it big? Is it?
Dealer's room was pretty big. Like it took up both of the main halls on the second floor. So the way the Heinz is set up is there's the escalators, like if you're facing north.
Oh, if you have the
escalators on the left hand side.
If you have the links, you can send them to me. Oh, I was gonna say if you have the
I can just get a map. Hold on.
Yeah, send me the.
Let me just get a map.
Yeah.
Heinz second floor. Here we go.
Yeah. You're the.
Copy image.
Yeah, I recognize some of the dealers there.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's what the second floor looks like.
Okay. So that was probably big. They probably had like over.
It's pretty sizable, yeah. So it used to be on the first floor.
All right.
And that was all fine until the marathon bombings.
Right.
And when they ramped up security.
And they just wanted everyone to be safe.
The thing about Anime Boston is they don't always have their footing when they try something new.
Right.
So after the marathon bombings, because the finish line is right there on Boylston.
Okay.
You walk a few blocks down the street and you're at the finish line.
All right.
So like when the bombings happened, I'm like, oh god, I was right there.
Right.
So then the next year, they had increased security.
And then that's when they moved it up to the second floor?
No, they stumbled through it, gradually streamlining security more and more until I think it was the first year back from the pandemic is when they moved it to the second floor.
Right. And
so
it's always...
You have people queuing to get into the dealer's hall when it opened.
Right.
On the first floor. And a long line at security.
I remember waiting in that long line for when the dealer's room opens at Otakon.
Yep, I remember that too.
The year I had my Jungle Juice cosplay, you know.
Oh yeah, that must have been fun to wait in line and
yeah,
taking up space.
Yep. You know, the wings do fold down, and I gotta actually send that. I gotta send the components off to my one friend who made the costume to repair that. So, Suchan's not making an appearance this year. I gotta repair the wings and everything because wear and tear. I gotta repair the film that's on it.
I have a couple ideas for next year, but I haven't decided which I'm gonna go with yet.
I like to get one done of my OC.
See, part of me wants to do that too, but
yeah,
I don't have the green hair or the booba for it.
Right. Well, there's always I mean,
yeah.
the only
there's ways around the second one, but
yes, especially for me because my OC's feet is the back legs.
Right. Yeah, like that's easy enough. Like,
yeah.
Because you could just wear like the bottom of a fursuit or something.
That or get heels and have them.
Yeah, like.
That and the 6 tails. That would be the hard part.
I think you're underestimating how difficult that actually is.
I've
seen some really good Ron Yakumo cosplayers that have like all. She has 7 or 9 tails.
True, and then of course there's always the Ari cosplayers.
Yeah.
God,
Even the Tamamo cosplayers, because I believe at most Tamamo has 3 tails.
Right. So I want to do it where I think they have those things where the tail, you know, you have that like robotic thing where the tails actually move and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to try to get done. You know, where it's yeah. But that's a cosplay in the making right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen
the Lotus Juice concert was great.
Yeah. So getting back on track here, and I apologize for getting off topic, but
no,
yeah.
It's okay. I'm getting just as off topic. You're good.
Yeah. I mean, we're having a good conversation here about conventions and cosplays.
I mean, yeah, it's still part of it.
Yep. So, now was this in the convention, or was this like in
the convention?
All right.
And this is one of the things that would have been ticketed in previous years.
Right. And then they probably would have rented something out like the garden or something.
No, they put it in one of the ballrooms in the Heinz, which was fine.
Because I remember when I went to go see Larkin Seal at Otakon, they had us in... Not only that, and I remember taking part in the like the cosplay, the talent show and everything. Mm-hmm. And a couple of people asked me to dress up as Link, and I volunteered. And they let me keep the costume.
Nice.
They let me keep
the
cosplay. Yeah. I got the green tunic and everything. I just gotta get the ears. At one point, I actually did have my ears pierced so I could do the, adult Link.
Nice. With the earrings.
Yeah, I let the holes close.
Nice.
I still have the earrings though, but
nice.
It was like this. What was? It was a center. But it was like one of the sports centers where they did the indoor soccer, where Baltimore's indoor soccer team played.
Okay. I would have thought maybe like the Ravens Stadium since it's right there.
Right. No, this was like an indoor arena. Not
Interesting.
so it was like like where they would play lacrosse and indoor soccer and everything. And that's where they had the stage and everything. And yeah, so yeah, we actually had to go into another line to get the badges for Lark and Seal.
See, that's how it used to be at Anime Boston. Is the convention center? The con would open up at 7.
Mm-hmm.
You go upstairs to the 3rd floor. There'd be a table there that opens at 8, and you get tickets for ticketed events there, which would be like Hololive, the concert,
Right.
the masquerade.
That's what it was. That's what it was that I was a part of. The masquerade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
But yeah, like the concerts and stuff would have been ticketed, and I think if they're going to be getting as many musical guests as they are, and especially big ones like Lotus Juice, they need to go back to ticketing those events.
Yeah. Now it,
especially if they're going to insist on doing multiple Hololive events.
Yeah.
Those need to be ticketed too.
Now, was it just the karaoke one that they did for Hololive, or was there other?
They also had a Saturday panel, which was Shiori Novella, Narissa Ravencroft, and Koseki Bijo.
Now, did you go to that as well?
I did. That's why I got so mad about it. That's why I got so mad about the logistics about it.
Now, was it like a Q&A panel, or?
It was just like a regular panel. They had some activities.
Oh, nice.
They took questions.
I know you were probably. I know you were probably upset because Ina wasn't there.
The day Ina gets announced as a guest is the day I spend a lot of time. This day I spend my days staring at my email, hoping I get picked for the lottery for her autograph.
She's getting a new costume.
I know. I took the time on Sunday afternoon to watch the outfit reveal.
Yeah. But
it's very cute. It's my wallpaper now.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't put that past you.
Like.
So what else was there that you did or that you have done in the past? Going. It doesn't.
One panel I love going to is, but I didn't go this year because it overlapped with Lotus Juice. Was Bad Anime Bad?
All right, explain. I'm gonna.
Let me see here. 9:30. So it's like a 3.5-hour panel discussing the worst, shittiest anime ever made.
Oh, there's a few that I know that fit into that category.
I'm talking the Garzy's Wing dub.
Boku no Pico.
Boku no Pico is a meme.
Yes.
Because of the Wild West days of the internet. I've actually watched a couple episodes. It's not that awful.
Right. It's like all the old bad. It's like all the old.
It's just funny 4chan Wild West internet memes.
Right. And it's like all the old bad dubs and everything.
Yeah. Like the really, really bad dubs.
Now, would you put Speed Racer into that category?
No.
Okay.
Because the Speed Racer dub kind of captured
the essence
of the original Mach Go Go Go.
Yes. Still one of the best anime. Still one of the best animes.
Yeah, no, Speed Racer is actually one of the better dubs because it captured. And that's what, to me, dubbing an anime should be. You should be capturing the spirit of the original dialogue.
Right. I mean, now it's like they want to get
ideally closely translated, but it does not have to be exact.
Right. As long as I think Yu-Gi-Oh is the same way.
Needs to be there.
Yeah.
So, like, if something doesn't translate from Japanese to English, write a joke with the same kind of energy.
Yes. It's like everyone in those rooms, like at Funimation and everything, they're like too afraid to do anything.
How do you mean?
It's like it's the people that oversee the scripts. It feels like they're all strong-armed by. I'm not going to name names, so for it to keep, you know. But
Right.
it feels
But I
like
get you.
it feels like all the dub translators or the script supervisors, they're all strong-armed by, the
Fan
talent, by
base.
the voice actors and everything that oversee the production of those shows. Because you know about the
I
how
mean,
the
that
fan.
is an issue. That is the risk of having a member of the cast as the ADR director.
Yeah, never
Like
do
that
that.
is the risk you run with that.
I can like the one that does the one that worked on Dragon Maid. I mean that's the
I
more
don't think
famed.
I watched that one dubbed. I
Yeah,
watched it subbed.
I watched it sub too, and I
Yeah,
will never
but
watch.
I never got around to watching. Camphor's dub was exactly what that show deserved.
Yeah,
Okay, so Camphor came out in 2009.
not familiar with that one.
It's not a great anime.
It's it's not the one
It's
that
almost
Annie.
so bad it's good anime.
Okay, no, it's not the one that Annie likes.
No,
All right,
I am astounded whenever I find anybody else that likes Camphor. Or
okay.
has even heard of it.
I've never heard of it. I mean, I can tell you some of the most point. Like these would be animes that you would say name your top 3 anime that no one else has ever heard about. Like these would be
Yeah, it's Camphor's that kind of show. It
right.
will show up on that kind of list.
This would be like a list. No, I'm going game show wise here. There's a game show in the UK called Pointless, where it's how much of the useless stuff that nobody else knows about do you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like I put in Nightwalker on that list, and it's like, what? Never heard of that anime. That's like,
Yeah.
remember the TV show Angel, the spinoff from Buffy.
I didn't even watch Buffy. I was not a Buffy kid.
I grew up watching Buffy and the Angel and X-Files. So Nightwalker was a 12-episode series about a vampire private detective.
Uh-huh.
Good music. Buck Tick did the song for the opening for it. And it just had, and I cosplayed as the main character. So at one point, I dye my hair purple.
Nice.
I did have my hair dyed purple, and it's like that. That's like an anime like no one's heard about. So, yeah, but
But yeah, it aired in 2009 in Japan.
all right.
Sentai Filmworks licensed it and released a DVD of it of just the sub in 2011.
Why does that name sound
Released the
familiar?
OVAs in 2013.
Why does Sentai Filmworks sound so familiar?
You might have known them as ADV Films.
Yes. So that's what happened to ADV Films.
That is what happened to ADV.
Because now I think they produce hentai and everything.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
I'd have to look. And then just out of nowhere in 2019, they dubbed the show.
Oh wow, that's like what happened with Funimation with interspecies reviewers.
Well, no, what happened with the interspecies reviewers was hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're gonna dub the. Oh wait.
Oh wait, no, we can't. Like, no, this is not what we thought it was.
And the manga goes even
Do
deeper.
not read the summary. Yeah, out of nowhere in 2019, Sentai Filmworks just dubbed Camphor and released it for no reason.
Right. I think it's
And
like
it
those.
was exactly the kind of dub a show of that quality deserved.
Now, was it you that?
It was a 2009 dub. And what's up?
I was gonna. Was it you that used to show the videos of like with like that one guy that would go through and say like everything like with a certain town and Pokemon and everything?
No, I don't think that was me.
Then that was probably someone else. Where like he would go through like all the logistics of like towns and Pokemon and everything, and he would kind of make it look official.
That definitely was not me.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds like something like that, you know.
Yeah, it was just really funny.
Never even
Yeah,
heard of that
Lotus Juice
anime.
is good. One of these days I'll show it in Discord.
Yeah.
Lotus
When you're
Juice
not
is good.
when you're not being killed with work.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping.
Yeah. And look at me, I'm only getting I'm getting 2 to 3 days right now.
Yeah, Lotus Juice was good.
So how long
the
was
opener was actually Rod for Maya.
So how long was the Lotus Juice concert?
So seating started at 7:30. I think I got over there at 6:30.
So you were probably like way at the start, at the beginning of the line.
I was 6 rows back
Okay.
from the stage.
Nice.
And once Lotus came out, he said, "Everybody stand up," and it just turned into a dance party.
I wouldn't expect anything else. I've seen the Persona concerts.
Yeah, no, yeah, and like, so when he finished his regular set, he turned to the crowd, said, "Do you mind if I take my shirt off?" And the crowd said yes, and he took off his blue dress shirt, and he had a Jack Frost shirt on underneath.
Right.
And he started his Persona set.
So what other games did he work on? Or was it just... Because I only know him from Persona.
He did some work on JoJo.
Who hasn't worked on JoJo?
At this point, yeah.
Oh, that anime is a running meme.
Really is.
And
Make themselves with JoJo.
right, and that is one anime I'm not jumping down the rabbit hole to write questions for.
It's understandable.
Yes, I'd rather.
The nice thing about JoJo though is each part is self-isolated, aside
Right.
from 1 and 2.
And I like
Self-isolated.
how all the stands are named after bands. Yeah, I think they have to change it in the U.S. for the English dub.
Because of copyright, yeah.
Yeah, our copyright laws are different from those in Japan, so
Our copyright laws are fucked. That's why Mickey Mouse is just now entering
public domain.
public domain.
Disney doesn't want to pay for the to keep it.
Well, at least not for Steamboat Willie.
Right. I think that's the only one that went into public domain. I think
That's the only one that went into public domain. Tigger goes in next year.
Woohoo.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And apparently there's a third Winnie the Pooh slasher film in development.
Yeah, what's going on? What is up with those?
So it's because the original A.A. Milne books went into public domain.
You would think Disney would have bought the rights for those.
They bought the rights. So the Winnie the Pooh shorts and animations still belong to Disney. It's just the A.A. Milne books.
Okay.
It's like the original A.A. Milne stories are the ones in public domain.
Okay. So that's why I always get confused. It's like, what's public domain, what's not.
Yeah.
I
The
can't.
next 5 years are going to be very interesting because you're going to see a lot of U.S. copyrights expiring.
Right.
So we're going to see things like Frankenstein entering public domain.
It's Frankenstein.
It's Frankenstein.
Yes. Still one of my favorite movies.
It's so good, and it's one of those movies you notice something different every time you watch
Right.
it.
Here's a little known fact about that. Gene Wilder actually wrote the script to that.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, no, he wrote the script to that. So, yeah, he wrote the script to that, and he went to Mel Brooks to get the movie done. On one condition. Mel could not be in the movie at all. There could be no Mel Brooks cameo in there.
Because that's something he always does.
Yes. He got that from Hitchcock. Hitchcock was in all of his films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And that's the thing. So, and
they went to the trouble of getting the original equipment from
yes.
the Frankenstein movie.
Well,
that
was
such a step they absolutely didn't need to do, but they did it anyway.
Yep, and of course you had Gene Hackman in there. Yeah, God bless him. He's 96. Yeah, he's 96, Gene Hackman.
That's crazy.
Age has not done well for him. I remember when he was in Poseidon Adventure. Movie I can recite from beginning to end. Yeah. But that's not important right now.
But yeah, like, so once he took his dress shirt off, he had his Jack Frost shirt on underneath, and he started his Persona set.
So what songs from Persona did he do?
So he did his remix of Backside of the TV from Persona 4, Dancing All Night.
Okay.
He did, I think it was the opening to the first P3 movie.
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen any of the Persona 3 movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the song everybody was waiting for.
Mass Destruction.
Mass Destruction.
Right.
And the crowd went ballistic.
Yeah, that's like his signatures. That's like the signature.
That's what everybody was there for, was Mass Destruction.
Right. That's the signature.
That's his song.
Right. That's the signature song from Persona 3. Reach Out for the Truth is the signature song for Persona 4.
I would argue it's the Junes theme, but go on.
Oh, battle theme.
Okay, battle theme. That's fair.
Yeah, we're talking battle theme. And from Persona 5, I'm going to say for battle theme, it's the You Never See It Coming.
I would say it's either Last Surprise for Vanilla or Takeover from Royal.
Right. I put both in that category. But Persona 5, the music from Persona is always spot on. And it's a shame that I think he left. I think he left Atlas.
Let me look. It's going to bug me if I don't look it up.
Right. I think he left. See, when Atlas was being sold, I was so scared that Nintendo was going to take over Atlas. I'm glad Sega took over on that one.
Oh yeah, he did leave Atlas. Okay.
Yeah. Wonder who's going to do the music. I wonder who's going to do the music for Persona 6.
I mean, he's a freelancer. He could still work with them on
it. But he captures the essence of the Persona games with the music.
Oh yeah, like that's his child. Is 3, 4, and 5 soundtracks are his child.
Right. And who doesn't have them on like their iPods and Spotify and
yeah, like actually the whole series.
Yeah. I'm like that with Sonic.
He started with Persona 1.
Right? He's been there since
including some song called Aria of the Soul.
Not familiar with that one.
That's the Velvet Room music.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's the one. Yeah, it's a song called Aria. As soon as I said Velvet Room music, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. See, it's like every time Igor, and this is going into Persona here, so it's like every time Igor would, introduce himself and say, this place, exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. It's like, what, we ended up in the Twilight Zone?
Not entirely wrong.
Yeah. Submitted for...
kind of is, because it's a space that changes its appearance based on its guests.
Right. Submitted for your...
Which leads me to wonder.
Right.
Why is it a limousine in 4?
I don't know.
in 3 it makes sense for it to be an elevator because of Tartarus.
Right.
In 5 it makes sense for it to be a jail because of the nature of the protagonist.
Right. Do you know
Why is it a limousine in 4?
Do you know in the beta version for that, he was actually supposed to be living with Makoto and her sister and Sai?
Really?
Yeah. And it was supposed to be him trotting the globe and everything.
Interesting.
Right.
Oh,
And
I just saw something interesting. You know what game is? You know which games are not listed on Meguro Shoji's discography?
No, which ones?
The Persona 2 duology.
Oh wow. Oh right, Innocent Sin and
Eternal Punishment.
Eternal Punishment. I don't think he worked on those.
He did. Listen there in the 2011 version of Persona 2.
So when they re-released it.
Yeah, he did the opening theme for that one, but the original releases he did not work.
No. That game has like and in Persona 3 they reference it.
Yeah.
They reference it with the MMORPG.
Yeah. And then you find out on the last your teacher finds out the last day like, oh.
Just like
Toriumi.
Yeah, just like in Persona 5 when you find out that the teacher's the maid.
Yeah, exactly on that level. You're like, oh.
Right.
Except you don't have the rest of the game to torture her about it.
Oh no, I just make her do my laundry.
Yeah.
That's all I do. I make her do my laundry. So, the interesting thing is with Persona 3 FES and Persona 5 and Persona 4, the teacher in Persona 5 Royal and in the base game is Yukari from Persona 3. It's her voice actor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The original. The reporter is Yukiko from Persona 4.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
And
it even looks like her.
Right. Hey, maybe she left the inn to become an investigative reporter.
Thank you, Sojiba Face.
Yes.
Giving us great value brand Yukiko.
And if you look closely in the train station, when you go to the upper line in Shibuya, if you look at one of the there's a Risei poster, and you get one later on in the game to hang in your room.
So they tie a lot. So Reload actually ties a lot of stuff from 3 and 4 back into 3.
Right.
Like,
it's like, oh, we don't care about 5.
During, I think it's the Hierophant mission, the Hierophant and Lovers mission.
Yeah.
If you interact with the TV in one of the rooms, Junpei said, will comment about there being a shadow in the TV.
And I like how in 4 you actually go back to Gekukan.
Yeah, and like P3 music plays during all of that.
Right. Oh, when I first saw that, I was like, Gekukan High, where you can save 15% or more in your car insurance.
Great.
Yes.
But yeah, like that's what remakes should aspire to do. Like it's still the same basic game, but it like some of the world building ties stuff in from 4 and 5.
Like what they did. Really cool. Like what they did for Sonic Angel Island Revisited. You know, they improved the quality of life of Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah, which does need it.
Just because...
I played Sonic 3 and Knuckles at the convention because they had a Genesis Mini. I'm like, it needed the quality of life.
Yeah. And it's, you know, Sega I'm guessing Sega doesn't want to pay the Jackson estate to use the
original recordings.
Yes.
Of Marble Garden. Yeah.
No, it's Marble Garden. No, it's not Marble Garden. It's Carnival Night, Ice Cap, and Launch Base.
Yeah.
They use the prototype music.
Okay.
Yeah, Air actually fixes all of that, so you can choose to use either one. Yeah, I leave it on because it's like, no, I grew up with the Ice Cap music. It stays.
Yeah. That's why I kind of have a soft spot for the U.S. soundtrack for CD.
Yeah.
Like, it's not nearly as good as JPEU soundtrack.
Right. There's a channel I'm watching right now on YouTube, and the guy's going through all the music theory of through all the music theory for Sonic.
We have gotten off the rails.
Yes. That's what happens when we get two otakus together talking about everything. It's gonna happen, you know. I do it for our game show podcast as well, so.
Okay, yeah, and I'm prone to it too.
Yep. So no, but it's a good conversation.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, Lotus Juice, and then I was so wiped up after Lotus Juice that I just
Right.
went.
You went home.
Yeah.
Then. So what else was there to do at the convention?
There's a. So the game room and autograph room.
Hello?
I'm here.
Okay, no, you cut out for a
Sorry.
second. Yeah.
The game room and autograph hall are the same room.
Okay.
So one side of the game room is just the autograph tables.
Right.
Then off on the left-hand side is tabletop,
Right.
and then in the back is video games.
Did you get any chance to play any of the hang out in there and
I did have a little time throughout the weekend to play some video games.
right. Now did they have like the games from Japan like in the arcade, like did they have like a Japanese
So
style?
they had an arcade room on the third floor.
Yeah. I was just gonna yeah. Did you get a chance to visit that?
Yes, they had the table flipping one.
Nice. Yes,
They
I've
had the
played
table
that.
flip arcade game.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, yes, they did. There is a arcade game about flipping the table.
The Chabudai.
Yes, that, and I like playing the drum one, the taiko drum.
They didn't have Taiko that I saw.
Oh, they
I might
did.
have just missed it.
Yeah.
I also realized when I walked in there why I didn't see any Toho cosplayers on the con floor.
Why?
They were all in the arcade room playing Toho.
Figures.
Like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, and I'm guessing they had a bunch of DDR machines and everything.
Our Stepmania, Pump It Up. They had like Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Versus Castlevania cabinet, which I thought was interesting.
You see, this is the one thing I'm going to be upset about when I go to Japan. When I go back to Japan in October.
What's that?
No Sega. I wanted
Club Sega,
no
yeah.
Club Sega anymore.
I know, and I've been very interested playing through Infinite Wealth, seeing how they're getting around that.
How are they getting around that in the game?
They kind of did it in 7. They just had it be like a local arcade.
Okay.
That somehow only has Sega games.
Right. Well, it is done by Sega.
Yeah, but no, it's not even like Sega branded.
Oh wow.
It's just like a local Yokohama arcade.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Yakuza games are done by Sega.
Yes.
So they
But
can
I mean
get
the
it
arcade like the arcade games that you can go play.
right. You know, there's
like
a
So like if you go to a Jincho and you go to the arcade there, it's just like a generic local arcade that just somehow only has Sega games.
like Hang On and Outrun.
Sega Bass Fishing,
Yes, I was watching you play that.
and then like UFO catcher machines.
Yes. I suck at those games. That
I'm
claw.
Oh, were you in chat on Thursday when I spent 30 minutes trying to
Yes.
get this Onomichio figure?
Yes. I've been having issues all last week with my streamers. Like I've been dropping frames when I play Formula One.
Really?
Yeah, it's like my frame rate drops down to like 40, 30, and it's everything. Now I know that sometimes I'll get the frame droppage, but it was like constant. But I'm thinking maybe it was because we had the solar storm last week and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, and I did the dumb thing and I forgot my graphics driver needed to be updated. So that did help. That did
Hey,
fix.
Yoko, do you want to know something hysterical?
Sure.
Mitsuru Kirijo in the Yasugami outfit is just angry Rise.
We have to do a podcast together on the Yakuza games.
I will happily do that.
I
will happily do that sometime.
Probably set one up next month.
Yeah, name a day.
All right. I'll probably be on a Monday.
I'll try and make it work.
Yeah. More or less it'll be on a Monday when I'm not doing mahjong.
Okay, I mean, if I work on Monday, it's usually 8 to 5. I should be able to do that around, like, this time.
Yeah. But going back, so there was the arcade. I'm guessing they had your standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering style tournaments and everything else.
Yeah, that was kind of in the tabletop area.
Yeah. Yeah, because at Otakon, I went, tabletop and everything, and then, see, at Otakon, the mahjong there, that's done by the USPML.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's done by, a wonderful person who I'm actually know, and
right.
It's never,
Yeah, like, let's see.
I'm,
Yeah, there was D&D RP.
Right.
Yeah, there was
Did you get to go see like cosplay chess and everything?
No, because it overlapped with something that I was doing on Sunday.
Those are always fun, the cosplay chess.
Yeah, no, I would have gone to chess, but it overlapped with the Toho.
I want to take part in it one year.
I got to take part 1 year at ALA.
Nice. And Swag, you'll be a knight.
I believe I was a bishop for that one when I did it. But yeah, I would, but it overlapped with the Toho panel.
Right. I would quote from a certain movie, but I'm not, because...
Understandable.
Yeah, you probably know where I was going with that.
Yeah. After that, I just kind of wandered around, met up with one of my other groups, and we went to closing ceremonies.
Right. Closing ceremonies, they just go over everything that happened at the convention.
They go over everything that happened. They show the AMV contest winners one time. Then they roll the credits for the con, and then they announce the dates for next year.
Roll the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yep. And then I got to take a picture with the con mascots afterwards.
Nice. That's why if you have a clothespin in your bag, I'll give you $50 for it.
There is a swap meet at Anime Boston.
Oh no, I'll yeah. Could you imagine if they got me to come up there to Anime Boston to do like a let's make a deal type the legit.
Propose it, like.
It's the logistics. It's the logistics.
Yeah.
To be honest,
you can get the logistics worked out though. Have your people submit it.
There's one person up there that would probably try to get me blocked.
I bet.
And that was the guy, and that's the person who does Press Your Luck up there. So if you saw,
I don't think they do Press Your Luck at Anime Boston.
Do you have the panel schedule?
I'm looking at it right now.
So was there any, what game, can I ask this? And what just out of curiosity, what game show panels did they do? Because I know you said that there was a Family Feud.
One that one of my friends actually does. Pokemon I Choose You Adventure.
Okay.
Draft Choice is the game.
All right.
What show is that? Sketchbook Swap, Sketch Showdown. That was all on Friday. Saturday had Actually, which I believe Anime According to AMVs, a K-pop game show.
Okay.
Another Sketchbook Swap. Then on Sunday there was Anime Themed Bingo and Pokemon Snap Scavenger Hunt.
So that I guess
That's all the game shows.
So I'm guessing.
Plus game shows. There was like Taskmaster, Family Feud.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Because normally, the reason I say that is because I know normally there's a person up there in that neck of the woods that does Press Your Luck at Anime Boston.
Yeah, I haven't seen Press Your Luck here in a minute. Like, it's been a long time.
Was there one last year?
Not that I'm aware of. Let me look.
Yeah.
Show. Draft choices. Wheel of Yen.
Wheel of
Fish.
Today, one of these three contestants will win his or her weight in fish.
There was, who's that Pokemon last year? Yeah, no Press Your Luck.
All right, I'm gonna have to talk to my person and say,
Yeah.
I guess he got, I guess he kind of got blacklisted.
I don't know if he got blacklisted or if he just stopped doing it at Anime Boston.
I'll tell you after the stream.
Anime Unscripted.
I'll tell you when we end here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
yeah, 2022. I would say 2022 is the last time it was done at AB.
So he hasn't done it since.
Yeah.
I'm guessing now. I'm gonna go off the rail here. I'm guessing that was done by Big Bucks Entertainment.
No idea.
Does it mention who it was? Does it mention who did it?
I can try and click on it.
All right, let's see.
I bet I could. If not, I can pull it up on Guidebook. Oh yeah, it does. By Cosplay Games.
Oh, Cosplay Games.
Yeah.
All right, then I got a chance of doing my panels up there.
Yeah. Give it a shot.
So Press Your Luck hasn't been up there since 2022. 2022.
It was done there.
All right, I'll talk to my my co-host here.
Have them submit it.
Well, I'm the face. I'm the one that submits everything, and
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
get the logistics figured out.
oh no, the reason I say that for Let's Make a Deal, it's half the show. If you ever watched the old ones with Monty Hall, or there's a week of shows from the all new Let's Make a Deal. Monty was sick,
Right.
and Jeff Edwards took over for the week. And for those of you who are fans of the Convention Attention for the Game Show Talk and Fun podcast, Jeff Edwards, we had him on the podcast twice, and he was a dear good friend of the podcast and everything. So, some people found those episodes, but those are now lost to time. Everything, because we did that back in the days of the old Blog Talk Radio, when you actually had to call in through Skype. Remember that?
God, that was the last time I did a podcast. Was it the Skype days? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
But-
how long it's been since I've done a podcast, dude.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I'd love to have you on as a co-host for the for this one.
I mean, this is like the only time I go to a convention out of the year.
I mean, not even for that. I mean, mainly with Convention Attention, we all, it's not also just talking about conventions and stuff. We talk about video games, anime.
I'd be down,
Yeah.
but I just don't know if I'm always gonna have time to,
Oh no, this one, most of these would not be done like every week. It would probably be like once a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once a month.
I could probably make time for that.
Yeah, because what we try to schedule is we do two podcasts a month. One would be Game Show Talk and Fun. The other one would be Convention Attention.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would be once a month.
Okay.
And then I'd work, we got to work the schedules out and everything.
Yeah.
With that. But yeah, even for the game show stuff, I know you know somewhat, but and we're going to be doing about The Price is Right and everything. So I found, and I know you did I know you've done a tier maker. I know you did tier. I found a tier maker, a tier list of all all 112 pricing games on the price
wow.
of every pricing game on the Price is Right. So whenever I get to do that one, and I know the Price is Right is a show that all of us grew up with and everything. Love to have you on for that one when we get to doing the tier list.
I mean, I can tell you already looking at this, Plinko is going to be S+ for me.
Yes, well, of course, Plinko's S tier, and that is one show I'm planning to do next year at the convention.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's by law. Well, I was waiting for the news. You know, I was saving it to do it as my way of paying my respect to Bob. You know, but
I think the other one I really liked was.
well, what I'll do is for that one, since I know the rules for all 112 pricing games, is I'll do an explanation of the game. You know, ask those who are in chat, in voice chat with us, who's seen it, who's not seen it, and, probably go over a little bit of the win percentage, but not really much, but more or less, what the game entitled, how did you have to win, stuff like that. My favorite is Super Bowl. It's the skee ball one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Only been perfected once. They only had one person do perfection on that. That's why if you ever watch when I start off my streams, I use the theme song for that.
Okay.
Which was actually the theme song to the Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour. So those contents there for that. But that's a topic we're working on doing once my co-host is able to come back and join us and everything. But for right now, it's probably just going to be convention attention and everything. Okay. So for right now, but yeah, I'll get on the phone with him about that later with Anime Boston for next year. But yeah, knowing that he's not, that person's not doing stuff up there anymore. But I'll tell you about that after stream.
No, I get it.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, it sounds like there was a lot. It's like your typical group of panels.
There's always something to do.
Yes. And then of course you always have the people running around with broken cosplays and everything.
Yep, we do have a cosplay repair at Anime Boston.
Right.
On the first floor usually.
I'm guessing the line for the weapon checks was also, the prop weapons was also out the door and everything.
No. Like, if there's one thing Anime Boston has gotten down pat, it's how to streamline stuff.
Right. Now, how was it waiting for the badges and everything?
Once the line starts moving, it's not bad.
Right. So, now, I'm going to ask you the obvious question here. Did you have the badge mailed to you, or did you have to go and...
So, I mentioned it earlier, but they did start mailing badges out on a trial basis. This is the first year they've even discussed
doing that?
Mailing badges.
Right. I'm guessing they were waiting to see how well it's been working with Otakon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that, and they want to do it on a trial basis to see how well it works.
Right.
I live in the area, so it's easy enough for me to get down there at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and just wait on Thursday.
Me would be like, has to leave New York about like 7 o'clock.
If I was still traveling from out of state for the convention, I absolutely would have had it.
Oh yeah, that's what I had to do for Otakon. It's like, I left here at 7, and I took the train down.
I think if I was going to go do Otakon again, that's what I would do, is I would have it mailed.
Right. And I'd probably meet up with you here at in Penn Station.
Well, look, I'm always down.
Yeah, no, I know.
Always down to hang out.
Hey, like you and our good friend Maddie, who, you know, come down. You come down here. I got, even though my place is a disaster.
I might be going to Anime NYC next year. I'm
Yeah.
just waiting on logistics from one of my other.
Oh, I was there for year zero. I was there for year zero at Anime NYC.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on logistics stuff for next year.
Right.
For it, I'm not gonna be able to go this year.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna have the PTO to take an entire week off by
Right.
August.
Yeah. I can say this. Anime.
I'm gonna burn all my PTO for this weekend.
I saved mine. I hardly use it. I just use it for when I need to go to conventions.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Is I just save it.
And I
save
get-
it up for like 6 months.
Right.
or
And
more.
I get like 5 sick days a year to use.
Nice.
But no. I mean, there's another local one that I go to called Anime Next. I'm sure you heard of them.
I've heard of Anime Next. Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're going right now through a restructuring. So to all of my friends that work on staff at Anime Next, work hard, and I know you're taking this year off to plan better because last year was all a kerfuffle. They used the same venue. Now, they used the same venue that DerpyCon used. They used the same hotel. They used the same Hyatt Regency Hotel in New Brunswick. So, panel rooms were in the Hyatt Regency in New Brunswick. You had to go to the New Jersey Expo Center, which was like shuttle buses, to a location that was maybe 30 minutes away just to go to the dealer's room in Artist Alley.
That's terrible logistics.
It was... Now, they used to be in Atlantic City. It used to be at the Atlantic City Convention Center. And then the pandemic happened, and then and then the convention center broke contract, I believe. But you were right there in Atlantic City. You had every hotel right there. I'm not
That's
gonna...
what I like about the location for Anime Boston.
Right.
Because you have the Heinz Convention Center, you have the Sheraton right there without even having to go outside.
Right.
You just
That's
go out to the brew, hook a right, and then you're right in the Sheraton.
Right. And that's the same with Otakon, but it's the Marriott.
But and then you have a Marriott right across the street.
Right.
You have a Hilton right across the street. You have another local hotel a little further down.
There's only one.
There's a bunch of hotels right by the High.
Right. There's only one hotel chain I stay at.
What's that?
Embassy Suites.
Understandable.
Yes. It's my favorite hotel chain.
Holiday Inn or Embassy.
Oh, I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night.
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell you one of the things. Do you remember Kantai Collection? Kankole?
Yes.
So my one friend, and this was when Kankole was really popular and everything, and I still play it.
Big, like 2011, 2012.
So my one friend, who does crossplay and everything, decided to dress up as... Oh, I forget. I forget the character. The one that always used poi in everything she said.
Yudachi.
Yeah. So he basically had a Yudachi cosplay made, and to get this thing from New York City down to Otakon. And mind you, I had a friend who worked for a bus company, so he was able to get us on the bus for next to nothing. Talk about calling in favors, right?
Right.
Took up 3 of my suitcases. I wanted to strangle him.
I don't blame you.
I yelled at him and said, you know, I don't have a car. Why would you take this down there to Otakon when literally we have no feasible way of transporting everything?
It's the main reason I don't do cosplays with large props anymore.
I mean, yeah, look at the one I did for Jungle Juice.
Yeah, like
That costume, and God bless the people that work, the husband and wife that worked on that. You know, she made the coat. Her husband worked on the wings for me. They got that done the night before Otakon.
oh my gosh.
So, what they did was, my other friends in Chicago, they lived in, it went from Wisconsin to Chicago, from Chicago to D.C. And then from D.C. I took the train up. I took the train back. So I actually, you know that spot on the Amtrak trains where you were able to put the luggage and everything?
Yeah.
I put it there and it took up the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
funny. I
But-
might be taking the train up to Portland this year.
Portland, Rhode Island?
Portland, Maine.
Stephen King country.
Yep.
I was,
Go see a Sea Dogs game.
baseball.
Double A baseball.
Yeah. Well, that's right. The Phillies are playing right now, too, at the time of this podcast. The time of this podcast, they're playing the Reds.
Yeah, let's see how what the Cardinals said today. I think it was a travel day for them.
Yeah. When we're talking at the time of this at the time of recording this
no,
podcast.
they started in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They're in San Diego.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah. It's just fun also seeing all the different cosplays people work on throughout the year.
Honestly, yeah, like that's one of my favorite things.
Right,
And I love seeing uncommon cosplays.
right. Like the one I
Before we
have,
get
right?
too deep into the cosplay discussion.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have
We
one more thing to mention from the convention.
all right, and then we'll talk about the
After closing
cosplays.
ceremonies.
Yeah, I want
I got to take a photo with the mascots of Anime Boston,
nice.
H-Han and Beacon. They were doing photo ops right outside the auditorium after closing ceremonies.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask. I guess a lot of good cosplays this year up there.
There were. I love seeing uncommon cosplays,
Right.
even from like mainstream series. So like from say Hololive, for example.
Right.
Who would you expect to see from Hololive cosplay?
Garu. Gara, Krone. Probably just those two, and probably Ina.
Shockingly, I hardly ever see Ina cosplayers.
I do see a lot of Gara.
There's a lot of Gura, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a Toa cosplayer this year, and I wish I had seen them again because I wanted to get.
Hold on, you cut out for a second.
There was a Tokyomi Toa cosplayer
Oh wow.
this year, and I never see Toa cosplayers. And
How
I
about
wish
Kuro?
I wish I had seen her again because I wanted to get a picture.
Korone? Does anyone cosplay as her?
There were a couple Corones.
Hmm.
A lot of Gura. There was a Pekara.
Right. So it's like Garu, Ina, and Kronone are like the only ones I know.
Yeah. No,
And-
I almost never see Ina cosplayers.
And the one I think that Annie posts a lot, the one that's the detective one.
Ame, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple Ames.
I'm guessing I'm guessing my Jungle Juice one would be in the uncommon category.
It would very much be in that niche category, yeah.
Yeah.
Jungle Juice in general, I think, would be very.
A few people knew who I was too.
That makes it even better.
Right. I went to Otakon that year when I wore that, hoping that Webtoons would have a booth in the dealer's room. Because
They didn't, did they?
no, they didn't. Because I wanted to show my support for that.
That's fair.
For it. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
I love seeing, and even in like Persona, I love seeing, like Persona 3, for example. I only saw 2 Aegis cosplayers the whole weekend.
and when 5 came out, it's like you saw boatloads of like Morgana.
Yeah, you see boatloads of Joker. Even now, you see a lot of Joker, a
Yeah,
lot of Anne,
yeah,
a
it's
lot of
just
Morgana, a couple Futabas I saw.
yeah. Futaba, best waifu.
Not wrong, at least in 5.
Yeah, the
Of course,
doctor.
Dr. Tech, of course, she's always going to be second best to Takemi.
Yes.
But yeah, like 3, I saw there was a lot of Persona 3, likely because Reloaded just come out.
But there's always also a lot of JoJo cosplayers.
Yeah, like the JoJo is always going to be around. Like there's always people that you see. And the fun thing about Anime Boston cosplay is Anime Boston is usually Easter weekend.
Right.
So do you know what the significance of Easter is, right?
Yes.
It was the day Christ was resurrected after being crucified for 3 days.
Right.
So on Easter Sunday, there's always a Jesus on the comic.
I wouldn't put that past somebody.
There's always one.
Right.
Sometimes multiple. And it's my favorite thing about the con being Easter.
Hold on, you cut out again.
It's my favorite thing about the convention being Easter weekend.
Right. There's always like I think one convention I saw someone dress up as Bob Ross.
Yep, we had a Bob Ross.
And
We had a Bob Ross. We had a
we're just
trainer
gonna
covered in Zubats that had a sign that says "Got any repel."
I've seen that meme on the. I've seen that meme.
This year there was a free run trapped in a mimic cosplayer.
Not familiar with that one.
That's new. That's a new meme. This free run is an anime that aired this year.
Okay.
So it's a meme from the show. She's terrible at detecting mimics and always gets caught in them.
Oh, I think I've seen that one. I think
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I used to do a poll on these back in the days. It was like know your meme, and like we would like rank the memes throughout the year.
Yeah.
And everything. I might bring that back.
Anime Know Your Meme a few years ago.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, do you have any other questions about the convention?
Is it well? I'm guessing. You know, when do we have the dates for next year for those who would like
Memorial Day
to?
weekend. May 23rd. Let me see. I took a picture.
Yeah.
But it's Memorial Day weekend next year.
Oh no, not Memorial Day weekend.
So the thing about Easter being a floating holiday is that sometimes that makes it float to the same weekend as the Boston Marathon.
You know what also is Memorial Day weekend?
Fanime?
No. There were 2 races that happened on Memorial Day weekend.
I don't get it.
The Indianapolis 500 and the Monaco Grand Prix are always Memorial Day weekend.
Oh.
You never knew that the Indy 500 was run on Memorial Day?
I don't follow racing.
No, I know. I know.
Like,
You hang out with me a bit long enough.
yeah, like I don't follow it that close.
Yeah, no, that's like the same weekend as Monaco and Memorial Day weekend and the Indy 500. That's why I said, oh no. Well, you know where I'd be Sunday morning? I'd be in the hotel room watching Monaco.
Understandable.
But no, for a convention, that would be understandable. DVR. It's the one race I would love to go to. It's the one race on my bucket list.
Yeah.
So for next year, it's Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
So that's gonna put a strain on the hotels.
Not
Good.
really. Like, Boston doesn't really have like big Memorial Day stuff.
Right. Well, you have the marathon.
Yeah, but the marathon's in April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why it's being held Memorial Day weekend. Is because the logistics of, you just mentioned it, the logistics of holding Anime Boston and all the people in town for the marathon would be a nightmare.
Right.
So and I confirmed it I finally confirmed it with a staff member this year. Like, yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend whenever it would float to Marathon Monday.
Oh, wow.
Whenever Easter would float to Marathon Monday, those are the years they hold on Memorial Day weekend. And it happens about every 3 to 4 years.
So every leap year.
Just about.
Yeah.
And it's almost kind of a leap year sort of deal.
Right. So next year it's Memorial Day weekend.
And then it's back to early April.
Yeah. I'll put the dates up in the video description when I upload this to YouTube.
Yeah, let me know. I can just send you.
Yeah, you can always DM it to me.
Because I also have the dates for 2026.
Wow, they went 2 years ahead.
They've had it booked all the way through 2026 for years.
Oh wow. I'm guessing that one's back in March.
That one's back in early April, yeah.
So is Anime Boston always Easter weekend?
Yeah, it tends to float to Easter week. It tends to be Easter weekend.
All right.
Anime Boston 2024 occurs on Easter. Unfortunately, Anime Boston may fall on Easter for a number of reasons. You cannot pick a date that will work with everyone who wants to attend. If you have obligations due to Easter that conflict with the convention, we suggest attending services in one of the nearby churches, including a chapel in the Prudential next to the Heinz.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Knowing that, if what you were saying with the panels, I might ask you to help me with doing video and everything. So I might commandeer you for that.
I will tell you that the video staff the staff at Anime Boston are fantastic, and if you ask, they will be more than happy to help you out.
I might have to.
I know you trust me, but
yes, it would just.
I want to let you know that if I'm not able to,
yeah,
please have faith in the staff.
Oh no, I make sure we would coordinate everything. I'd coordinate panel times. I would just need someone to start the cameras and just run the software and everything.
Oh shit, I can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Running software, because I've done these things since 2015, and I always at least, my thing is when it comes to doing these panels, and I'm sure you've seen my past work and everything that I've done. I'm always professional when it comes to hosting. Very rarely do I have to pull, and this is a shout out to the other person who does these things as well. Very rarely do I have to pull what I like to call a Grego, meaning I have to run the software and the game at the same time. Shout out to my good friend Grego. There. He's been doing that a lot longer than I have, but and then it's getting all the budget and everything. I got to get my prizes together for Castle Point coming up. Yeah, that's my first convention.
Any other questions?
So it's always transit. Is it for those of you that are coming out of town and everything?
Coming from out of town, I would recommend booking at the Sheraton or the Hilton nearby.
Right. Is public
Hilton or the Marriott nearby.
Right. Is public transportation, is the Boston public transportation easy to get around?
I would say, yeah, if you're just if you're just gonna be right in town, yeah, it's pretty easy to get around.
So it's easy to.
Downtown Boston is extremely walkable.
All right.
You could walk from Back Bay to TD Garden pretty easily.
So it's easy to get around on the subway and everything up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. that was one.
It's quite easy to get around.
Same down here, but it took me 2 days to learn the subway map.
Yeah, no, every station has a map posted, and if you ask someone, they'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction.
Yeah, if I
T-staff or otherwise are more than happy to
So
point you in the right
I'm
direction.
guessing right now they just finished up this weekend, so it'll be a while before panel and registration for all that other good stuff opens up.
Registration usually opens up in November or so.
All right, we'll keep everyone updated on that.
Yeah.
And
You'll hear me screaming about it on Twitter or on Discord at some point.
you mean that? Yeah, and Blue Sky.
Yeah.
You told me about Blue Sky.
I keep forgetting to post on Blue Sky. I'm so bad about it.
Yeah, and I'm following you on that. It's like I'm following you. I'm following our friend Maddie. I'm following Aura. I haven't seen her on in a while.
I'm not sure what she's up to. I hope she's doing alright.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like you had a good time. And I'm guessing you took a lot of pictures.
I was actually pretty bad about it.
You're like me. I'm the same way. I am the same way, but no, that would be like a convention. I would never lug the Jungle Juice cosplay up there too.
No, honestly, it's not worth it. It honestly gets too crowded to deal with like bulky cosplays like that.
Yeah, with the wings. I'd probably bring my Kurama cosplay. But I can't get a new wig for that. But yeah, I'm glad that you had a good time. I'm glad that you had a good time with it and everything, and I know you're always going to go back every year, and
it's my local convention. It's one of the main reasons I moved out here.
Right.
That I enjoyed coming out here so much.
So much history in that town. So much history up there in Boston too.
Yeah, there's so much to do. I always tell people if you're gonna come out here to visit, come in the summer. Don't come during convention. Don't come during the convention because I won't have time. I won't have time or energy to hang out.
Hold on.
What up?
It might cut out.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But yeah, no, I'm the same way. But but yeah, especially if I'm more busy with like poker tournaments, it's like, don't, unless you want to take the trip all the way down to Atlantic City. And chill down there on the beach and everything, or on the boardwalk, or, there's really not that much to do in Atlantic City. But
I'd be down if I was going there for like a convention or something.
there's PoochieCon down there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a small local convention. Like they hold it, I think, at Showboat. So I got to get the registration in for that. But no, it sounds like glad that you were able to come back and talk about the concert and everything, and which is the one thing I mainly wanted to talk about was the
Lotus Juice concert.
That and your experience with the HoloLive concert.
Oh yeah, I have good. Thank you for reminding me. I need to rip into them on their feedback about all of that.
Oh, about how they handled the lines and everything.
Yeah, I need to go rip into them. I'm gonna do that real.
Yeah. So for those that would like to follow, we'll put the proper annotations up there on the YouTube where you can follow my good friend Swag here and everything. And hopefully we'll get you back on for another. Maybe we can make that a topic for a future podcast, like rare and obscure animes that we've all seen.
Oh, I would have a lot of fun talking about that because I always end up watching like niche shows.
Yes.
It's like I was thinking about it as I was walking around like, I recognize a lot of these characters, but I have not seen any of their.
Right.
Like, I have not seen an episode of Free Run, but I recognize.
Hold on.
Now.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be. I think that's my mic telling me, "Yep, it's time."
Okay.
Yeah, we did 2 hours on here.
All right.
Hey, but a lot to cover. I mean, yeah, we did get off topic, but
Sure, and that happens.
yes, especially when it comes to conventions, and I think when it gets close to Otakon or maybe sometime later on this year, we'll do an episode about for those of you that are, would like to attend conventions for the first time, we'll do a convention attention declassified 101, survival.
Yeah, I would love to be here for that. So definitely,
Right.
like when you kind of start getting ready to formulate that and get that going, just
Right.
shoot me a message.
Oh, definitely. I think my co-host and our and everyone else behind the scenes would agree that I think I handled this one pretty well myself,
Yeah,
solo.
it's like I said at the top of the show, like
Yeah,
I had 12 years at Anime Boston, 13 years overall of going to convention.
right. And forgive me for asking,
What else?
out of all of that time, any had your most the cosplay you've done the most, or your favorite character that you've cosplayed as over the years? Do you have a favorite character?
Oh my goodness. Calling on like 12, 13 years of conventions.
I want to leave it on that, if you don't
Yeah.
mind me asking.
No, yeah, I'll definitely have to think on that.
All right. Yeah.
A couple come to mind, but I'd need to like think about it between them.
Or you can name them all if you want.
Well, definitely Chevalier Dayon from Fate Grand Order. I did that for 4 years.
Okay.
Obviously this year I was Akiyama from Yakuza.
Right. Hold on.
And then I've done Okabe Rintaro, Steins Gate 3 times at conventions.
Okay. Now I know Steins Gates. I just don't know the character.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okabe is the one with the lab coat.
Okay. So the main character.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. For
Yeah,
me.
Those are my favorites.
For me, I'm gonna put Inuyasha. I would say Inuyasha, since he was the first I cosplayed as.
That's totally fair. Like that's got special meaning to you.
Yes. And now look, I cosplay as Yoko Kurama.
Yeah, you make it work, right?
Yeah. I'd love to cosplay as my OC. And see what people think about that one. But yeah, that's going to do it for us here. I'll have the links to Swag's Twitch. I was going to say Discord, but you'd probably kill.
Please don't share my Discord.
You'd probably kill me on that one. I don't want. No, I
share my Discord link without me knowing.
No, we'll have.
I trust if you invite someone to this.
Yeah. No, we'll have. I'll have your Twitch channel and everything, and if you want to share your Blue Sky or X. Yeah, you can just.
Blue Sky, it's the same as.
Right. Yeah, you can just DM me all that, and everything. We'll put that up there. So for those of you that missed this on the live, this will be up on YouTube tomorrow. It'll be up on YouTube by the end of the week, whenever I get around to downloading it and putting it up. And if I forget, poke me on that one and say, get it up there on the YouTube channel, please. But yeah, for those of you who missed it here, you can follow get the restream of this up on our YouTube channel, Lost Silver Productions. And until next time, I'm Yoko, and Swag, thank you very much for joining me here for this one.
Of course.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back here as a co-host on this one because my, and everything. So, because we're more of the anime people as well. We know more about the subject. So, until next time, we'll see you then. Take care, everyone, and have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.